Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got
New 52 booklet.
it! Somebody clip this one.
Welcome to Comics League Indie Wednesday. I'm Jared, and today we are discussing Red Sonja Conan, Blood of a God. So I reviewed, it's kind of funny. This is kind of a crossover for me too, because I reviewed both a Red Sonja volume, I forget which one, and I had done Wonder Woman Conan. So this is kind of a hashtag full circle moment for me right here. So this was a pickup that I got at my local comic book store because I was getting into Conan because the new book came out, which is dope, by the way. But so I wanted to check this out because I'm a big fan of both characters, and I figured, okay, might as well check this out. So so they've crossed over many times in the past, and what's cool about this book, this brings in a lot of stuff from both mythologies. But my favorite part about this book is the back and forth between Conan and Sonja, because they're both like hardcore warriors. And they're both like hardcore drinkers, and it's really funny seeing them like, because they're romantically involved, but then you see them like flirt during combat. The art by Roberto Castro is like bloody as hell, the way it should be for a Red Sonja book and a Conan book. He's like cutting people's arms off, cutting people's heads off, and you see like Red Sonja don this dope helmet, and she's fighting with bows and arrows, and then you see them actually fight in a mindscape against this wizard, and they win, no doubt, and they win by no surprise. But the cool part about this book, again, well, for one thing, I've said this before, the art side, I said this on my Born of Blood review with Dolan. It's that this art style and the amount of brutality matches the topic of the book. Because remember, this book is like Red Sonja and Conan. You're not doing a book without like dismemberment somehow. Because these people are using swords and stuff. It's just that's just the best way that this can work. And then it's like, and you see them all also flirting. What's cool is that Red Sonja and Conan are making out. Then all of a sudden, these like giant creatures show up, like attack them, and then they all get killed. So it's really cool. You see, like when we first see Red Sonja and Conan, they're like generals leading an army into battle. Then they engage in like single combat, and they like take out all the best warriors, and all these guys are like really like confident. They're like, there's just two of them, we can do this. And then Red Sonja and Conan are like, you want to do this or should I? And then they just mop the floor with them. It was really, really, really cool the way that Victor Gischler, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. The way he does this. And I like how, like, at a certain point in the battle, Red Sonja is like knocked out. She wakes up after a battle has been fought, and she starts interrogating people to find out what happened. And then she's essentially like interrogating someone at the point of a sword, and then she eventually kills the dude or like cuts off his arm. And they mount up and they go into like this epic battle. This whole book is basically one epic battle after another. It's essentially, think of it like obviously the Conan movie, but also think of it like Clash / Wrath of the Titans. Any of those movies where like they fight giant monsters with swords and bows and arrows and such. The whole thing is like really, really, really badass. And again, so this is one of my things because I just got into a kick on like sword and sorcery comics because I like superheroes. It's also cool to have like sword and sorcery to kind of like as a palate cleanser. And this is definitely one. This is definitely a book that I will be following. Or these are definitely two characters that I definitely will be following. By the way, check out this dope Alex Ross cover. I'll hold it up to the camera, or I'll just have the image on my screen. And yeah, that's where I'm going to do it. In terms of how I rate this book, honestly, I give it a 10 out of 10. Art's awesome. The dynamic between Red Sonja and Conan is superb. Superb. And the gore is actually appropriate because there are times with gory books that it goes like gratuitous. This is not, nothing in this book is gratuitous. Everything serves the plot to some degree. So on that note, I'm going to call this Indie Wednesday review to a close. This was a fantastic book. Be on the lookout tomorrow as I interview Joe Sontag, the writer / artist of Reaper Destroyer, and be on the lookout for next week's collab, which I will be announcing either on Monday or Tuesday on who that special guest is. It's a big one, ladies and gentlemen. So on that note, also be on the lookout for Friday when we this weekend when we do Under Two Capes, which will be discussing Injustice. On that note, everyone, stay here working. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.